Episode 38. No. Don't come. She might break this man's bone if he did come. Tanhua's eyes narrowed when she saw the first sturdy man walk to her. She did want to break free from these two men, but alas, her current body was the body of a weak woman, and she wouldn't be able to win against these two men holding her. Moreover, there were two other sturdy men waiting to strip her. Alas, if they knew she was a girl, maybe she would be molested by whole gang right here on the spot. Well, but why should she allow that to happen? She knew that there wouldn't be anyone to save her, like a Prince Charming saving a princess. Nanshen wouldn't save her, as there was no way Nanshen knew she was in this kind of situation. Tanhua also knew that she wasn't a princess now, even though she was a princess back then. Not an ancient European princess, though. She was a modern princess. As a modern princess who lived among money and luxury, danger was bound to follow her. That's why her overprotective parents, aside from preventing her from going outside often, also gave her lessons in martial arts. At first, Tanhua thought her parents' attempt to make her learn martial arts was pointless, but then, only now did she feel thankful to her parents. Oh, Dad and Mom, really thank you for forcing her to learn martial arts. Well, her new body might not be someone who learned martial arts, but she remembered the moves and techniques she learned. She might be a complete trash aside from designing. She was an idiot. She knew nothing about business. She left her company to her trusted man. She couldn't cook, couldn't do house chores, couldn't do anything. But one thing she was confident in, aside from designing, was that she could do self-defense. So, don't underestimate her. Hey, you homophobic men. When the first sturdy man had arrived in front of Tanhua and had bent his body to take off her pants, Tanhua used the two men's bodies behind her as her stepping stone. She leaned her back to their bodies, raised her right leg, and bam! With a powerful kick, she kicked the first sturdy man right under his chin, instantly making the man faint without even managing to scream from the pain. Bruck. The man immediately fell to the ground, followed by Biazi's startled scream. Yeah. Biazi gasped in surprise, seeing such a tall man suddenly faint when Tanhua only launched her first attack. Who is this boy? He looked so skinny and weak, but he can make a man taller than him faint with just a kick. The four men inside the room, who saw this scene, all had their jaws dropped to the floor. They too had the same thought as Biazi. Who is this boy? The people inside the room started to have a new opinion about Tanhua, and all of them suddenly became guarded, wary that they would be the next victim to fall under that boy's hand. Tanhua, who saw this, showed a gleeful smirk she learned from Nanshen. This smirk was so hatefully arrogant that even the most patient man inside the room had his blood boil. For some reason, they only wanted to slap that boy to death now. Poor Tanhua, she actually didn't mean to let out such a smug smile. She was actually about to show a wry smile. Why? Because her toes hurt like hell. When her leg kicked that man over his chin, her toes bumped into that man's jaw, and now, it hurts. It hurts. So Tanhua wasn't going to show a smug smile, she was going to grimace in pain, but somehow her facial expression betrayed her and made her look like she was showing a smug smile. Fuck. The second sturdy man was angry that his friend fainted after Tanhua's kick, so he tightened his fist and launched a powerful punch to Tanhua's stomach. Bug. Ak. Tanhua, whose body was still being held tight by the two men behind her, couldn't possibly avoid this punch. The punch was so strong that Tanhua nearly vomited her lunch she ate a few hours ago. Fuck you. It's so painful. Tanhua's face was suddenly drenched in sweat. The punch was strong, very strong, and she nearly choked on her own saliva when she received it. Damn it, she couldn't move, so if those men started to punch her instead of wanting to strip her, she would die. Truly. Heh, how was that punch? Manly enough? The second sturdy man laughed mockingly as he stretched his body like he was about to beat up someone. Meh, it's barely okay. Tanhua squinted her eyes and pretended to spit when the sturdy man asked her. Still act so arrogant. Well, after this, I will make you scream and beg on your knees. The second sturdy man licked his lips as he took out a pair of scissors from his pocket and pointed them at Tanhua's clothes. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? Tanhua's heart leaped to her throat when she saw the scissor in the sturdy man's hand. This. He won't stab her with the scissor or anything, right? Oh my, why the hell does she feel like she's facing a gangster? These men were fellow employees, right? Okay, to be honest, she didn't want to get hurt. Please don't stab her. Do you know what I'm going to do with this scissor? The second sturdy man spun the scissor as he asked the exact question that Tanhua actually wanted to ask. No. I don't know. That's why I was just about to ask you that. Tanhua casually shrugged her shoulder, but even the slightest move caused the two men beside her to tighten their grip on her hands. Oi, oi, don't squeeze her hand. Well, I will kindly tell you, the second sturdy man really acted like a usual villain in an action movie. They talk too much. Just get straight to the point, can't you? Thank you for your kindness. With a sentence full of sarcasm, Tanhua squeezed out her fake smile she learned from her boss, Nanshen. First I will tear open your clothes to check. Maybe you are actually a girl, and then I will scratch your face with this scissor. The sturdy man licked the scissor, looking like a big villain straight from a movie. Ew, that scissor is dirty, isn't it? Why bother to lick it? Just when the sturdy man was about to tear open Tanhua's clothes, Biaozi suddenly stood up and stopped the man. Wait, don't do it yet. Biaozi, with the sound of her heels hitting the floor, tapped the sturdy man's shoulder. What is it now? The sturdy man put down his scissor and sighed before he patiently asked Biaozi, what the hell does this bitch want now? I haven't tortured him yet. Let me torture him first, then you can do whatever you want. The woman licked her lips as she narrowed her snake-like eyes toward Tanhua, making Tanhua nearly vomit. What? That woman wants to torture her first? Why the hell are all these people so sick? Are you sure they aren't psychos? Wait. These people look like sadists. Could it be because their boss, Nan Shen, was also a sadist? There was a saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now she understood. Well, be quick. The sturdy man clicked his tongue, feeling his playtime was interrupted, but he didn't do anything and just sat down in the chair inside the room. Thanks, Biaozi giggled as she ordered the leader of the group to take a spray paint from somewhere inside the room. Here, the leader gave the woman a red spray paint he found somewhere in the room. Tanhua, who saw it, gulped nervously. Oh my, now they want to spray her face with this red paint? Why the hell do they act so childish? Biaozi smirked as she shook the spray can first before she pressed the button to let out the paint right onto Tanhua's face. Crat! Tanhua hurriedly turned her head so the paint only hit the left side of her face. Well, but her wig was also tainted with the red paint. Gah! So gross. Tanhua really wanted to kick this woman again, but maybe she was smart, so she maintained a certain distance from her after spraying the paint on her face. She couldn't do anything. Gah! She was itching to slap and kick this bitch. Cack, not right to his face. You grab his chin and hold him down. Biaozi clicked her tongue and ordered the leader to grab Tanhua's face by her chin so that her next paint would hit Tanhua's front face perfectly. Grab. The leader immediately moved behind Tanhua and grabbed her jaw from behind. He was afraid that if he did this from the front, Tanhua might kick him again, so he did it from behind. Of course, Tanhua couldn't do anything. Now she couldn't even move her head, so all she could do was shut her eyes tight. She didn't want the paint to get into her eyes. Crack, crack, crack. Biaozi sprayed the paint 3 times, instantly dyeing Tanhua's whole face and hair in red color. Tanhua felt her face was sticky with the paint, and she felt dirty. But this was still not the worst case. The sturdy man had run out of patience. Oi, Biao, you finished, right? So now let me handle that boy. The second sturdy man stood up from his chair and shoved Biaozi aside. Biaozi clicked her tongue again, but she did go back after playing with Tanhua's face. Right after Biaozi sat down, the man replaced her almost immediately. Now it's my turn, boy. I will make blood from your face. The man already took out his scissor and was about to stab Tanhua's face when... Ring, ring, ring. There's an incoming call from Tanhua's phone. Could it be? Boss?